Good morning, students, and welcome back to the next session of Artificial Intelligence. In this unit, that is in fourth unit, we have previously discussed regarding utility function and utility theory. And we have also seen about risk aversion, risk neutral, and risk loving individuals. So we have seen with the help of an example. So today we are going to learn regarding the concept of value iteration. So before learning to value iteration in Markov decision process, what we have to consider is we need to calculate Bellman equation. So this Bellman equation is actually being used in order to perform in the algorithm, that is value iteration, and also it will be used in the next algorithm as well. So first we need to learn that how this Bellman equation gets calculated. For this, first we will calculate the Bellman equation here. So first thing what we need to know is, so this is what one equation I'm taking here. So what is this equation actually? This equation is a transition probability. See here, as you know, we have already learned the agent concept. In agent, what an agent has to do in an environment is it has to move from one state to another state. So here what we are doing is we are taking a transition probability. Okay, so this transition probability is moving from a state called S to S dash by following an action A. That means an if an agent in the state S performs an action A, then it goes towards S dash. Okay, then what we are going to do is that, so we have to get how this will be performed is you will be getting a reward, because we have seen in reinforcement learning, so whenever an agent moves from one state to another state, an agent will be rewarded. So the reward value we have taken here is R. So what we are taking is this R, this small r belongs to the R. Okay, that is how it belongs to the complete reward here. So what happens if you see here, S is changing to, S is changing to state to S dash by following an action A. Okay, and getting a reward R. So what this equation is, this equation is transition probability. Now what we have to take is we need to use total discounted return. Okay, so this total discounted return, previously in Markov decision process I said you that what is return. Okay, return is something, if you add complete rewards of all of the states, then you will get a complete return. So there is a generative equation for that. So that generative equation is here, you can denote them as GT. So G refers for, what is that, it is generative equation and at time t, because t refers for at time t. And what we are taking here is that we are taking R of t plus 1, that means reward, getting reward uh, at time t plus 1 means the next time in the next state. Whenever it goes to the next state, it gets a reward. So when it goes, if it is at time t, when it is going to time t plus 1, so it is getting rt plus 1 as a reward. Similarly, what we are using is, along with this r, we are using gamma here. So I'll let you know what is this gamma. So here what happens, the time gets incremented, so that is t plus 1 gamma r of t plus 2 plus gamma square here we are taking. Okay, so I'll let you know what is this gamma refers to. So here I'm taking rt plus 3, and so on. What happens, it will be incremented, and finally if it is till nth, so you can take as gamma of n minus 1, and here it will be r of t plus n. Okay, so this is what a generative equation at time t. What you can refer this equation as generative equation at time t. Now what this r is, you know, the reward value. So as I said you that in reinforcement learning the reward value will be a positive value, it can be a negative value based on the action what the state has been chosen. If the action is in a better way, then you can get a positive value. If it is not, then you will get a penalty. So that penalty is your reward with a negative value. That means in reinforcement learning every state, an agent will get a reward as a positive or else as a negative based on what, the penalty or else the reward. If the reward is negative means you will get a penalty. So that's why the r is what, positive or negative here. So what is this gamma actually? This gamma is called as discount factor. What is this gamma is? Discount factor. Now I'll let you know what is this discount factor here is. So this actually what is this is, for example, if you are in the time t and if you are going to the time t plus 1, that means what is that, you are moving to another state with the time t plus 1, that is, you know, right? So at time t plus 1 whatever the reward you will get, okay, so you will get the complete reward, okay, because immediate reward r of t plus 1 is the immediate reward when you will get only after performing that state into if you are moving from one state to another state. But what happens, you know, the process gets, the reward value get decreases, okay, step by step the reward value get decreases, because if you won't decrease the value, what happens generally is that this reward will be in a way that it will be infinite state. So to avoid that thing that doesn't happen in, I mean, like to, you know, you can say that if I want to decrease the reward value in each step, okay, in each step, if I won't decrease the reward value, what happens, the reward will be executing till infinite number of times. So in order to have the values to be decreases, so that's why what we are taking discount factor. Remember, this discount factor is the value that is in between 0 and 1. Okay, so what happens is that if here there is no discount factor in the first step, okay, in this first step, but if you go in the next step, so for example if I'll take as 0.5, okay, so 0.5 into the reward value, that means the now reward value is increasing by half. Then again 0.5 whole square, because here gamma square I am taking, so again the value will be something 0.25. So yeah, 0.025. So in that sense, okay, so this value, I mean the value again it is decreasing by 0.5, less than of 0.5. So what happens at one step, what happens, this reward will get nullified. What happens, this reward will get nullified. So because of that, what happens is, as it nullifies, so it means that it has reached to a saturation point, okay, and then by that your complete return will get completed. So because of that you are using this discount factor value, and this discount factor value will be 0 to 1. Now who will give this discount value, and on what basis it depend? See here, this the selection of value, suppose if I have taken 0.5, it is not specific with the given example. That means you can say that the reward value which is in between 0 to 1, it can be any value, so it is not dependent on the reward value. It is not dependent on the reward value. So who will give this value? A programmer. I mean the person who develops an algorithm or who develops a code on this will give the discount factor value based on the situation of the given algorithm. So because of that, the discount factor, something where the number of steps will be get performed, okay. So in that way you are going to get the discount factor value. So don't get confused. Simply you can say that here where there is no gamma means immediate reward is there, okay, and every time because of the discount factor this reward value will get decreases until it nullifies the rewards. At one step what happens, it will nullify the complete reward value. So the main purpose of this is that it will help us to avoid for calculating the rewards up to infinite number of times by reaching to the saturation point, and that process is called as convergence. What that process name is called as? Convergence. Okay, so this, it performs until it reaches to that process which is called as convergence. So in that way, what we are taking is, we are taking this discount factor value. Now what we are taking, what we need to take here is that we need to take the next step. Okay, now what we are doing is, we are taking another equation after that. So in this equation, we actually wants to take what value, I mean what value we will get from each step. So by taking value function, so here this is value function v of pi. Pi is what? Policy. For the given policy, what will be the value function for the given state S? So it can be taken as in this way. What is that? E pi. Okay, this is, E refers for expected policy value of, expected value of GT. GT we have already seen. What is that? GT is generative equation at time t. So here we taken as at time t, such that R, when the state S is at the time t. Okay, so by this what you can say, what is v pi of, what is this equation to refers to? This is value of state S, value of state S with policy pi. Simple. Okay, and here what is the E pi here refers to? This E pi refers to expected return value. Okay, what is that? Expected return value for the policy pi. Okay, so what it returns? It returns total value of rewards till successive state S. Okay, so till successive state S. So now what we are doing is that we are taking this we are taking this equation to generate again in that. So finally what we are doing in this one is, we are substituting this G, okay, with that value. So that value we have already derived, right? Generative equation. So in that one, what we are submitting, we are taking here is that v pi of S. Okay, here we are taking the same E pi. In this one, instead of GT, what I am taking here is that R of t plus 1. Same thing we are substituting here, gamma with discount factor we have taken R of t plus 2 plus gamma square R of t plus 3 plus so on. Okay, okay, where for the state S, when the state S is at the at time S, at time t. Okay, so now what is this R of t? This is gamma. So this is G of t. So we replace this G of t with this equation. Now what we are doing is that, can we write this G of t is equals to R of t plus 1? What we can write? G of R of t plus 1, then gamma G of t plus 1. So here in this equation, what you can think in that way, that what we are taking the value into b, I mean if you consider this R of t plus 1, okay, So if I take this r of t plus 1 as a separate one, this is r of t plus 1, and here we are taking gamma as common from second value. So we are taking gamma as a second value. If you take common here, then if I take r of t plus 2 plus gamma r of t plus 3, that means g of t refers to what? This equation. But when I take g of t plus 1 means the first value will be t plus 2. So it means that I can write the same equation in another way. Okay. So what we are doing is that we are substituting this given equation in terms of in this way. What is that? R of t plus 1 plus gamma g t plus 1. Because I said you that we are taking r of t plus 1 separate one, and we are taking gamma here, and if you take gamma means gamma of r of t plus 2 plus gamma r of t plus 3 plus gamma square r of t plus 4. So in that way you are taking. So here what we are taking is that, as you know, it starts with t plus 1 when it is gt. Okay, but when it is gt plus 1 means the first value will be r of t plus 2. So for that what we are doing is that we are updating the value accordingly. Okay, so here we are updating the value. Okay, so we'll be going to the next step, where we substitute the given equation with another terms, just which I shown you. So now how we are substituting here, we are writing this given equation again, v pi of s. In that way what we are writing is e pi of what we are writing here, we are writing r of t plus 1. Okay, and here instead of gt we are writing r of t plus 1 plus gamma g of t plus 1. Remember, this is how we have updated here. Okay, g of t plus 1. Okay, for the state s at time t. So now what is this equation? This equation is something when, if you are 100% sure. What is this? This equation is when you are 100% sure, when you are 100% sure that the given expected value of state at time t is 100%. Okay, but what if you are not sure 100%ly? Okay, if you are not sure for 100% that this given equation can be true, I mean can perform the same, can give you the same expected value, then in that case what you have to use is you have to use probability, because anything which doesn't comes in 100%, so where you need to use probability. So for that what we are doing is that we are updating this equation when, in the case when we found that the expected value of a state at time t is not 100%. So this is for 100%, because if it is not 100%, generally that is has to be taken. So how we are updating is that we are taking the same equation v pi of s. So in this one what we are taking is that we are taking here, we are taking a policy. Okay, policy here for state s by performing an action a. Okay, and here we are taking what? Here we are taking the probability. That is more important, because what we are learning is, we in a state where 100% not sure means we are taking probabilities. So here when you are moving towards s dash and getting reward r from state s by performing an action a. Okay, so here all of those actions, rewards, all of those states or the rewards will be get added by performing summation symbol. And here in this part we have to take the rest of the part here. So the rest of the part is what here. So the rest of the part is r plus gamma e pi of g of t plus 1 here s t plus 1, and here we can take as equal to s, and here we are closing for this and we are closing for that. Okay, so what we are taking is that now how we got this. See, remember here when I take e pi r t plus 1, okay, if I simplify the above equation, e pi r of t plus 1 is actually the reward value, right? So I can get as r here. So here what we are taking, this r here we are substituting in this way, in this part. So we are not writing e pi r of t plus 1, instead we are writing small r because that is reward here. Plus, now what is there, this gamma is there, okay, and this e pi is there. So gamma e pi we have taken common, and after taking that what we need to take, g of t plus 1, okay, because now we are moving towards the another state. Okay, this is expected value at a state time t plus 1, as it is t plus 1, it's not t, right, it is t plus 1. That's why we are updating st plus 1 instead of taking st here. So s of t plus 1, and here though we are taking in this way. So by this we have taken what, the equation. Now further if we want to simplify here, so how can you simplify further? You can simplify directly by writing in this way. So again I'm just erasing the part so that we will write a complete equation here. So meanwhile what you have to do is you have to note down all of these things, okay, in your notes, so that you can get each step accordingly, so that you can understand that how this equation is actually derived. So now finally how you will get this, you will get in this way. So v pi of s here as it is I'm taking here, same thing I'm taking which I have taken earlier, only little bit changes are there, so we need to know what are those changes. So this is your probability, transition probability, or transition dynamics you can call them as. So here I'm taking, what I'm taking here is that instead of taking that complete equation e pi of gt plus 1, okay, for the given state, I mean for the given expected value of a state at time t plus 1, simply I can write as this is your gamma. So gamma is discounted factor, and here v pi of s dash. Okay, what it means, if I want to find of a state s, okay, then I have to find out, I have to get the I have to use the value of the next state s dash, okay, with the using discounted factor here. So in this way what we have got it, we have got this Bellman equation. So now it is been divided into three parts. So what are these three parts here is that this first part, okay, this first part is actually here policy, because pi indicates for policy. So here policy for the given state s. So this is your policy, and this part, okay, this part is your, what is that, transition dynamics. Okay, because you are performing transition process from S to S dash, so you can term this as transition dynamics. And here finally what you can perform is you can get the value of a next state. That's why you are taking R plus, because reward value will also be taken in this one. So in all of these three parts, if you combine this, then you what this equation is called as Bellman equation. So this is how Bellman equation has been derived here. Okay, so now what we have to see is this Bellman equation will be used for the process of value iteration. So here we calculated the Bellman equation. Now first we need to understand the policy here. So what is policy? As I said you, that if I'm moving from, if an agent moves from one state to another state, okay, so if an agent has to go to the destination, so what sequence of states has been taken in order to go from source to destinations? Okay, there are multiple states, so the pattern of that states, the sequence of the states, so that is called as policy here. So in simple way that you can call as mapping of an action. I mean, what action you have taken, so based on that action the next state will be going to be get selected. So the action has to map to every possible states. Okay, for this action, for an action you have taken, for example in the grid world we have taken for a state. For example, here we have taken what a grid here. Grid world example already we have seen, right? So this is how the destination, and this is what your states S1, and this is something wall is there S2, S3, S4, S5, S6 and S7. So on what sort of action sequence of steps is the sequence of step has been taken in order to reach to the destination. So this is how the policy. Now what is optimal policy? See here, as we are learning a reinforcement learning, so every step, if I move from one state to another state, I have been get rewarded, okay, with a reward value. So that reward is actually in terms of positive value, it can be negative in the sense penalty will be there. So I have to maximize the long term reward in order to reach to the source to destination. So here this is my destination. Overallly, if I go from one state to the destination, so what sort of steps are good from reaching to the destination so that it will be have maximum reward value. Okay, so that is called as optimal policy. So this optimal policy needs to be calculated with the help of two algorithms. For the first one, what we are doing now is value iteration in this class. So first we need to understand value iteration here. So in this algorithm, the optimal policy, as I said, what is optimal policy, right? So optimal action. So in order to get the optimal policy for from each state, you have to perform optimal action. What you have to perform here? Optimal action. So this optimal action is important because by getting this optimal action, the reward will be you will get a maximum reward for each action. So set of all the actions, you will get overall maximum long term reward. It means you will get optimal policy. So for that, the optimal action we have to take in each given state, and that has to be performed by choosing the action that have maximum optimal state value function. How can an action chosen, for example, from a state? Here there are various operations. So here you are going left, here you are going right direction, left direction, up, down. So from one state you can either move from any of these four actions. Okay, so which action is best suited so that I can reach to my destination from the given state? Okay, so these are the actions. So I have to select the best action, so that is I have to select the optimal action. So based on that optimal action, what happens, you will get what, you will get optimal policy. So that optimal action, how it will be selected? By state value function. What you have to find out, you have to find out for each state for each state you have to find out optimal value function, that is V of S. So this optimal value if I calculate, so by that I can know that which action has to be selected. I mean, if I take 4 actions are there, I have to calculate the value function from each of the actions. So the value for example S is there, so if I perform using left direction, right direction, up direction, down direction, among these 4 what will be the maximum value in this? If it has 4 options are there and if I have only one maximum, I mean if R is getting as maximum, so I have to choose this action. So what is this optimal action? So R is an optimal action here. So here we are finding the optimal state value function using an iterative algorithm. Iterative algorithm is something repetitive algorithm. So every time you have to repeat this. So this value function for each state, it has to repeat for all the actions. Okay. For example, if we have 4 actions, so it has to repeat for 4 times. And not only for the given one state, you have to perform for all the states. So here there are multiple states are there. So for all the states you have to perform, and based on that you have to find out the optimal value function. So that's why it is a repetitive process or iterative process. That's why it uses iterative algorithm. It uses an iterative algorithm. So that's why the process is in a way you can term this as iterative algorithm. So here value will be repeatedly computed so that optimal Markov decision process policy. What is this Markov decision process policy? That only, which I just now explained you. So that will be get calculated. That is how the main intention here is for. Now the algorithm, how this is actually been performed here. So we need to understand the process here, that how it is actually performing here. Okay. So in this algorithm, what we are taking is that we are using optimum Markov decision process policy. Okay. So for first step is that whenever if I'm taking a value function, I have to use 0 or random value for all the states. So here if there is a grid value, grid world I have to take now, same example. So here this is grid and this is something wall. So this is, I cannot have a state here. So I can have S1, S2, S3, S4 and this is destination S5, S6 and S7. Now for each state, what I have to you take is all the values I have to take as 0, 0. So here I'm taking for this as 0, this as 0, this is also 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 0 and this is also 0. Initially I have taken 0 because the first step says that we have taken what V of S value as 0. You can take also any random value, but I have taken 0 here. Now what I have to do is I have to find a new value function. So for each step I have to find out the new value function in iterative process. That means in first repetition, in first iteration, all the values will be updated here. Okay. Earlier it was the input is 0, but it is updated, and you have to update until there will be any no further updates. That means if the values are final, then there won't be any updates. So the final value at which after that if the values won't be updated, so such value functions or values are called as optimal value functions. What are this? Optimal value functions. Okay. So basically what we have to do is in this step 2, how I should find out the value function. So first I have to take this S. What is this S? Here it is S, right? So this S means, for example, a state S contains multiple states S1, S2, S3, S3, so on. Multiple states are there. So for each states I have to perform each action. Okay, a small a refers to an action and capital A refers to a set of actions. So the actions can be something like here left, right, up, down. Okay, in the grid world example. So what I have to do here is that I have to calculate, okay, I have to calculate here the values here. So how I should calculate the values here? In this way, what we are doing is that we are taking Q of SA, okay, for each state. So Q of SA refers to S first time, because here nested for loop you are using. So how you have to execute Q of SA means initially you have to use S1, then first action left, then S1 right action, then S1 up, okay. And for example here in S1 you can perform up, you can perform right, and you cannot perform left. So here we are performing like we have seen S1 and we have performed multiple actions here, okay. So for that we have to get the reward values. So in S1 we are performing, you can perform right, up, okay, two actions only you can perform. So based on the two actions you have to calculate its reward. That means if I move from S1 to, I can move from S1 to, here it is S5. So what action should, by performing an action right, so based on that we have to calculate the reward value. So the reward value will be get calculated, and that's reward. Among this you have to select the maximum value, okay. So this is maximum of Q of S. So this value, maximum of Q of S, among these two values, which is the maximum value, you have to assign into V of X. For example, like here if S1 you are performing right and you are performing up, okay, here you are performing, and you are getting here as what is that, you are performing this as X, you are performing, yeah, they are performing, this is X value and this is Y value. Now Y is greater than X. As Y is greater than X, so what you can insert in V of S, you can insert in V of S as Y, okay. Similarly you have to perform for all the steps, for all the states, and for in each state you have, for all the actions you have to perform, okay. So you will get, I mean you will get multiple values here. So initially we have taken 0 0, but performing for the first iteration, if I'll get some values, something like here 2 1 2 and 3 and again 2 and again 1, and this is my destination, and this is how a wall is there, so which a state can't enter into this room, and here it is 1, let us assume in that way. So this is how the value you will get after, for example, after second iteration. So first iteration again you get a value. Now using that value you have to perform for the next time, and after, suppose after third iteration, that means after third process, if you will get this value, okay, and at third iteration, and this third iteration only, and in and next if I performing for the fourth iteration, in fourth iteration also if I'll get the same value, that means there is no update in any of the values of the states, of all of the states which are, which belongs to capital S, and so that means now you got optimal policy, and the policy get converges means there is no further repetition, it will stop over there, okay. Because at the third iteration also you are getting the value which you are getting at the third iteration, the same value you are getting in the fourth iteration also. That means if there is no update in the fourth iteration and third iteration, so you can say that there is no update, finally it has been updated successfully, it means it has performed convergence process. What is that process? Is called as convergence process. So this convergence process will assure that the policy has been updated here, okay. So that's why you have to perform until V of S is converged. Okay, if you refer this statement, you will come to know. Okay, this policy has to be performed until policy get converges. Okay, so now what we have to do is, see, we have got the values of each states. Okay, something here in this one we have got the values of each state. That means value of S1 we got as 2, value of S2 we got as 3, value of S3 we got as 2. So like that we have got the value, but now we haven't selected the policy. Policy means, if I take policy in the sense, what sequence of steps I should take in order to reach my destination. This is your, so this is your destination. What is this? This is your destination. So I have to take the policy here. So for that purpose, what I have to do is, for each state, okay, for each state S, and I have on what action, that means the action A, based on the action A, what reward value I'm getting. So I have to take that reward value, and in that one I have to use the maximum value. So that what happens, we are taking this transition probability here, moving from state S to S dash. So what is this refers to? S to S dash by performing an action A. Okay, and here what the values which are updated values. Okay, values of each state which are updated values. So that values has to be taken here, and you have to multiply with the reward value, what the reward you are getting for the each step. Okay, so that has to be performed, and by that you have to calculate and you have to add accordingly, so that you will get the policy here. So this policy indicates by the symbol called pi. Okay, policy of S means that example you are getting the policy. Policy means, as you know, and this policy is your optimal policy. Remember, pi of S is your optimal policy, and this optimal policy you are getting from optimal value function. So what is that optimal value function? V of S dash is your optimal value function. So that will be used here, so that you know, you will get the optimal policy value. So in this way, what you are doing is that you are performing your, you are getting the values and you are calculating the values. Okay, so this is how value iteration. So what we can say is that in value iteration algorithm, it keeps improving the value function. Okay, it keeps improving the value function at each iteration until the value function converges. So we have seen in the third iteration and fourth iteration, just now I've given an example where the values are not updating, so that the convergence process is achieved. And the value iteration computes the optimal state value function. How it computes the optimal state value function? By improving the V of S value, and by with the help of Bellman function. Okay, Bellman equation. So here the Bellman equation, what we have calculated that only, but the representation is somewhat differ here. There we taken probability, here we taken transition. So the purpose is same only, but there is a little bit difference, but that is how also the Bellman equation. So we are using Bellman equation here in order to get the value iteration algorithm. So this algorithm, which I already said you, that it initializes a random value or zero value. So we have taken with a zero value. You can also take with a random value. So any value you can take here. So we have taken zero value initially for all the states. Okay, and after that what is the next here is, it repeatedly updates V of S values until they converges. Okay, that only I said, V of S values will be get updated until it get converges. Converges means until there is no further updates, and the value iteration is guaranteed to converge to the optimal values. Okay, so this will be guaranteed, it will give you the optimal values. because you are finding the each possibility. So whenever you find the each possibility, any one of the possibility will have a maximum value, will give you a maximum reward. So that maximum reward we have taken here from each state, and all of this, by combining all of this, we are finding the optimal policy here. So in this way, what we have taken is, we have taken all the steps here. Okay, so in this, what the next step is, the next point is value iteration algorithms keeps improving the value function. Okay, this is we completed. So what we are doing is that instead of repeating improving the value function estimate, policy iteration algorithm will redefine the policy. But this is regarding policy iteration. But before policy iteration, first we need to know about the value iteration. There is some problem in value iteration. Actually, the main goal of an agent is to find optimal policy. Remember, whenever an agent is there, the agent goal is to get the optimal policy. Optimal policy, simple, means if agent is moving from one state to the final state, it has to get the an optimal value. Optimal value means the maximum reward. Okay, so that is has to be performed here. But when I'm using value iteration algorithm, when I'm using value iteration algorithm, when I'm using value iteration algorithm, what is happen here is that it is sometimes possible that optimal policy will converge before the value function. That means what happens, optimal policy will converge. That means you will get the optimal policy, but before the value function. Sometimes, you know, the values will be updated in the way, I mean, you will get the optimal policy, but the values won't be updated prior to that. That means first optimal policy you will get, and you will, after that you will get value function. So because of that, what happens is that it takes more iteration, to find optimal policy. Why it takes more steps? Because, you know, it has to go for all the actions, all the states. So this is just a simple example which I have taken you, but that is not only the example. So you may have other examples where you may have more number of states are there. So if you have more number of states are there, that means that many number of iterations or repetitions has to be performed. So because of that, it takes more iterations to find the optimal policy. So in contrast to that, the alternative of value iteration is your optimal policy method. Okay, optimal policy iteration. Okay, policy iteration is a alternate to value iteration. Okay, in policy iteration, this problem will be overcome. That means it takes less iteration, but in value iteration it is taking more iteration. Okay, so with this, what we have seen is, we have seen about value iteration algorithm, and also we have seen about how this Bellman equation get calculated. Okay, so this is the process of I mean, this is how the concept which with respect to value iteration. Okay, so with this I conclude this session. Thank you.